can't offer a crystal ball that says what's going to happen in the future, and I don't think any of us can. But
well, hang on. All of the Leave campaigners did, didn't they?
Well, you wanted me to actually offer a silver lining.
Yes, remember, measurable and factual.
Measurable.
Yes.
And I actually value true democracy, and I think what the silver lining is that we're actually returning to a true democratic situation.
Right.
Because in Europe, it's actually administered by commissioners that are unelected, that actually put their proposals to the Parliament, and if they like them, they accept them. But even if they vote them down, the commissioners still go ahead.
Yes.
And I think what happened in the Lisbon Treaty in 1975 clearly illustrates that. So what we will come out with...
But except it doesn't, and it's not a silver lining for everybody, Jeff, because, you know, I could sit here now and say to you, remind me who elected Dominic Cummings, the most powerful man in the British government at the moment.
We don't know that. If you value
of course we do know that. Who elected him?
No, we don't know that, because what we're actually likely
who elected him, though?
Is his advice. His advice
who elected
could be rejected over HS2, for instance.
Who elected him? And the Parliament can reject the advice of the Commission, so your own point just fell apart.
No, it doesn't fall apart.
But remember, the silver lining has to be something that benefits everybody. Everybody.
We have a president of Europe.
No.
Was she elected? No, she wasn't.
No.
He was actually a failed German politician. Nobody has elected.
So the silver linings, Jeff, not the things you're angry about, the things that you're looking forward to, that everybody else will recognise. What's going to be the improvement to my life, the measurable improvement to my life?
I think that in future, when you cast your vote, in whichever way it is, and you might be Labour, you might be Conservative, or Liberal Democrat, it will actually be promoting true democracy for our country.
Yes. Okay. Now, leaving aside the emotional import of the words that you employ, could you give me an example of something that would prove your point? So something that perhaps has happened to me or to this country that was a direct result of the absence of democracy that you describe.
The illustration is that we actually entered the European market. That's how it started when Ted Heath took us in.
Yes.
It actually changed.
You're pretending not to understand my question. The thing that happened as a result of the absence of democracy that you describe. So you just point to it and I'll go, crikey, he's got a point.
I'm sorry, I'm not understanding the question.
Okay, so there is an absence of democracy which prompted your desire to leave the European Union.
Yeah.
What is the best example of the damage done to the United Kingdom by that absence of democracy, Jeff?
I think the damage is the amount of money that it's actually cost us that could have been well spent on other things that when we democratically vote for
Right,
them,
and Jeff, there's not a single economic analysis in the world that thinks that we have made net losses from our European Union membership. Membership of the single market has been the biggest provider, as Margaret Thatcher predicted it would be, of prosperity and commercial success to this country in, well, actually, not to be hyperbolical, in history. So I'm just going to ask you again.
I think
no, Jeff, I need to give you another chance. Jeff,
I think we would have done that anyway.
We've already gone down to 7th, I think.
I don't think so.
No, but anyway, the absence of democracy is responsible.
There are 196 countries in the world. I think to be 7th, that doesn't sound too bad to me either.
But 30 seconds ago, you didn't think we'd gone down.
I beg your pardon?
Yes, I bet you do. Last chance, point at the thing that has been caused by the absence of democracy, because the contributions to the European Union, Jeff, were voted for by our Parliament. So that doesn't count, does it? The absence of democracy caused this bad thing right here, described by Jeff, now.
We didn't actually, when Cameron went back and actually had a list of 6 things that he wanted from the European Union, they actually rejected all of them, and he came back.
Yes, but that's democracy, Jeff. If one person, of course it is. If it was all right, Jeff. Last chance, mate. Name those 6 things.
In Europe. I think I've illustrated it well. I think you're just not being receptive.
Jeff, please don't hang up. Jeff, please don't hang up. Please, Jeff, give me one example.
I've illustrated examples.
You haven't, mate. You need to point at something and say, that's what happens when we don't have democracy. What are you pointing at?
What do we have when we don't have democracy?
Point at the thing caused by the absence of democracy that our European Union membership entailed. It's your point, not mine. Don't get cross about me about how confused it is.
I'm not getting cross. I'm just...
So what is it? Look, we've got no democracy and we're getting it back. And the best proof that we didn't have proper democracy is...
Sorry.
So am I.